The NBA in hot water again after a Golden State Warriors co-owner made dismissive comments about China's treatment of the Uyghurs minority group that the U.S. has labeled a genocide. Our fact-check team digging into what was really said and the NBA's dealings with China.
Chamath Palihapitiya, a minority owner of the Golden State Warriors, made those controversial comments on his podcast. He said, quote, "Nobody cares about what's happening to the Uyghurs," end quote. But as our investigators found tonight, there is much more to that conversation. The fact-check team is here for some important context to these now viral comments. And John, we start with you. Your first step of research here was going straight to the source, the podcast.
To be clear, there is a humanitarian crisis in China with that Uyghur population. I listened to the hour-and-a-half discussion that Chamath Palihapitiya had with his co-hosts. It is undeniable that he made those comments. One of them, Jason Calacanis, said he was surprised that President Biden's recent denouncement of the issues didn't help his poll numbers. Mr. Palihapitiya's quote of "nobody cares" came in response to that. Calacanis emphasized that countries and investors should make decisions with human rights in mind, to which Palihapitiya told him, quote, "I'm not saying that what you believe is wrong. In fact, I think it's beautiful and wholeheartedly right." But he said that the majority of people, quote, "don't make any changes toward it, and it's largely because they don't believe it's an issue." Proving Mr. Palihapitiya's point, The Hill's Robbie Soabe and Ryan Grimm said, quote, "if you actually don't care about them, just keep it to yourself." And Grimm responded, quote, "do it like the rest of the world does it." Again, to be clear, there is a humanitarian crisis against Uyghurs in China, but Mr. Palihapitiya's statement is taken slightly out of context.
And the Warriors released a statement saying, as a limited investor who has no day-to-day operating functions with the Warriors, Mr. Palihapitiya does not speak on behalf of our franchise, and his views certainly don't reflect those of our organization. Now, Mr. Palihapitiya said in part, "I recognize that I come across as lacking empathy. I acknowledge that entirely. As a refugee, my family fled a country with its own set of human rights issues, so this is something that is very much a part of my lived experience. To be clear, my belief is that human rights matter."
A lot to dig through on this, that is for sure. John and Janae, thank you so much. When the fact-check team returns, our investigative producers look deeper into the NBA's connections to China and the amount of money that is driving that relationship.